Welcome to Up Close TV. I'm your host, Linda Medina Lopez. Joining us today is Miss Betty Jenkins, principal at Blackshear Elementary. Mrs. Jenkins, thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for the invitation and allowing me to share a little bit about our wonderful school.
Yes. First of all, congratulations. You were just named a National Blue Ribbon School. Tell me, what does that mean to your school, to the faculty, and tell us more about this award.
Okay. Being named a National Blue Ribbon School brings great pride to our students, our parents, and our community as a whole. It is a great recognition for us because, as you know, Eastside schools are usually perceived as schools that are low performing or not offering great programs to our students. And this just proves to the community that we are a wonderful school and that there are great things happening in East Austin schools. In Texas alone, there are over 8,000 schools. And Blackshear Elementary was named or recognized nationwide as one of the best schools in the United States of America. Therefore, it is a great recognition. To be named a National Blue Ribbon School, your school needs to perform well over a period of 2 to 3 years. You need to perform well on statewide assessments, and they also measure parental engagement, community engagement, partnerships that you have with the community, professional development opportunities for the teachers, leadership qualities that the teachers may display on a regular basis, and the wonderful programming that a school offers. Therefore, being recognized National Blue Ribbon School just brings wonderful pride to us school-wide.
That's amazing, and I did see several photos on Twitter and Facebook, your teachers and you just, taking in that moment, and such a proud moment for the school, and not only the school, but the school district as a whole.
Yes.
So your school is a fine arts academy. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, and what kind of programs and services does your school offer?
Being a fine arts academy means that we are going to focus on our primary responsibility, which is the academic achievement, academic progress of our students. But also, as part of our school day, we offer 100% of our students fine arts programs. This means that their day is broken up. Usually in the morning to mid-afternoon, we are focusing on the regular content, reading, writing, math, science, and our afternoons are devoted to the fine arts programs. We do this during the day to ensure that 100% of our students get to participate in the fine arts programming because our students, or the student population that we serve, is a majority minority population of low socioeconomic status. Therefore, this is a very special opportunity for 100% of them. As students progress with us through the years, pre-kindergarten through 5th grade, they get to participate in creative movement, all the way through photography. Therefore, our day, for example, in pre-kindergarten, they get their regular pre-K lessons, and then they get to participate in a special dance class that we call creative movement. We don't start them in ballet right away, because with the little 4-year-olds, it's very difficult to get them in and out of their ballet uniforms. And if they wear it throughout the day, little 4-year-olds, they wait a little bit too long to go to the restroom sometimes, so we would have accidents. Therefore, their class is creative movement, and they get to participate in dance. Our kindergarten students participate in ballet classes, and this is a great partnership that we have with Ballet Austin. And they have devoted one of their teachers, Tony Bravo, to come into our school to teach our kindergarten students ballet on a weekly basis. Again, they get the full ballet experience with uniform, their ballet shoes. We have now created a dance floor or dance room, which is wonderful for our students. And that's how we progress throughout the grade levels. 1st grade gets to participate in theater arts. And students that show great discipline or a great love for ballet get to continue ballet in 1st grade, along with the theater arts. 2nd grade, again, gets theater arts and ballet. 3rd grade takes orchestra classes during the day, which is a wonderful opportunity for them, because we notice that as students move into middle school, they don't always take advantage of that orchestra or band class because they feel uncomfortable with the classes. So now we're exposing them early as early as 3rd grade. We also have ukulele classes. We work with the University of Texas to bring Shakespeare classes to our students, and we work with artists from the community for photography. And that is what the fine arts brings. Yes.
You know, I do have a friend that has a daughter there at Blackshear, and she was like, oh my gosh, my daughter has just blossomed. She used to be shy and quiet, and now she's a totally different girl, and it's amazing because of everything that the school is doing, and just giving them access to just so much more outside of the classroom.
Yes, I would like to share that bringing the fine arts to our students has made them blossom. I can share so many individual stories about our students and how they're benefiting, but even students that may struggle sometimes with academics, or may struggle sometimes with the management of their emotions, or students with speech impediments. When they are participating in their fine arts classes, they blossom, and you would not be able to pick them out from their performances. It's just been beautiful for them.
How long has it been that Blackshear is a Fine Arts Academy?
We were officially named a Fine Arts Academy last year, during the 2014-15 school year, so this is our second year.
Okay. Have you seen an increase in enrollment or inquiries of learning more about the school?
We have seen an increase in enrollment. Our projections for this year were originally 212, and we're at 304. And also when we started our work at Blackshear Elementary, we were majority, 97% low socioeconomic status, and our demographics were Hispanic and African American or Black students, and now we see some diversity on our campus. We see diversity as, with families of socioeconomic status as well as different ethnicities.
That's great news, definitely. Tell me more about yourself and how you, your trajectory as an educator, a little bit more.
Okay. I started with the Austin Independent School District in 1996 as a 4th grade bilingual teacher. And I always remember my first principal, of course, my very first job. And I will always remember her, Linda Horn. I need to share her name with everyone. Because later in my experience within AISD, I had the opportunity of working with her again in a different position. Therefore, I was teaching for a couple of years at Cunningham Elementary as a bilingual teacher, and then later transferred over to Harris Elementary, where I was teaching pre-kindergarten, and I started my administrative program during that time, and J.J. Pickle Elementary was being built. And therefore, in driving around the neighborhood, I thought it'd be an exciting place to work, and I was hired by Claudia Santamaria and stayed at J.J. Pickle Elementary for several years. I was a teacher, and then I was able to move into the position of counselor, and then started my assistant principal experience at J.J. Pickle. Following that, I was introduced to Claudia Toshak. She was the associate superintendent at that time, and I worked as an administrative supervisor under Claudia Toshak until I began my principalship at Becker Elementary, and then following to Blackshear.
Wow, so that's a long time within the school district, and in reaching different schools, different neighborhoods, so you've seen them from all parts of town.
Yeah, a great experience with different grade levels, and like you say, just different communities, different leadership styles, which has been a great experience for the place where I am now.
Have you seen any of your past or former students, come back or visit you? Or
I have, and it's really amazing. At first, when I started running into them in the community or different events, it made me feel my age somewhat. But then about 3 years ago, when I started at Blackshear Elementary, a resume came across my table, and I recognized the name immediately. And it was one of my very first students. As when I was a fourth grade teacher, she was one of my fourth grade students at Cunningham Elementary, and she is now teaching at Blackshear.
Oh my goodness.
So that
Full
has
circle.
been just a beautiful experience to have her there as a teacher. And I must say she is a wonderful teacher. All of our teachers are great at Blackshear Elementary. And I'm glad that this special teacher is also excelling.
Definitely. What is your vision as the principal of Blackshear Elementary?
At Blackshear Elementary, I want to make sure that our students have a strong academic foundation, first of all. That's really important. And right now, about 30% of our week is spent on fine arts and other enrichment programs that we offer at the school. Ideally, I would like their academic foundation to be so strong, especially with literacy in pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade, that we could spend 50% of every day on fine arts and enrichment programming. That is the vision that I have. I would love to see fine arts throughout the day, but again, without sacrificing the need to progress academically.
How would you describe your leadership style?
People have described me, it's difficult for me to describe myself, but when I see teachers writing about me or talking about me, they describe me as democratic and transformational. Transformational because at both schools for which I have been a principal, I have wanted to see change. So again, improving the academics, but then bring in a special program and bring in those special opportunities for our students, which is where the transformation comes in. Teachers describe me as democratic because I do give them a lot of the responsibility. Once we have some non-negotiables that we want to focus on within the school, we create committees for our special initiatives. So now I have a committee of teachers that is leading, and not only teachers, we include all of our staff members. So really we have a part of our Blackshear team that is leading the fine arts programming. And when they make a decision, I respect that decision so long as we have a plan in place and we move forward with it. There are some individuals that wanted to focus on the science development within our school, as well as the sustainability of our work around the garden and the other areas on campus. Therefore, they become the leaders of that. And I include them in as much of the decision making as possible, which is why they would say I'm somewhat democratic.
Mm-hmm. So you enable them as leaders within your school.
Yes.
Tell me more about how do you continue to help your teachers, your staff, grow as professionals?
We continue to grow through our initiatives. When we decided that we were going to become a Fine Arts Academy, we needed to learn about the Fine Arts Academy along with the Creative Learning Initiative that the district is currently implementing. And we seek and we develop professional development sessions around our initiatives. And therefore, teachers are leading the committees. They know where our strengths and weaknesses are. They seek the professional development, and they will plan it. Individuals that are strong in certain areas will plan that professional development, or we will seek it. And because they are leading that, because they are leading the way, because they are identifying their needs, then they are motivated to continue that professional development. And we do this for each of our committees. But also within the school, I work with our administrative team made up of the assistant principal and instructional specialists. And once we set our initiatives for the school year, we visit with teachers, we visit their classrooms, we provide them with feedback, we sit down with them to make adjustments and instructional practices and support what they want to do in the classroom. And that in itself provides a lot of one-on-one professional development for each of our teachers.
What kind of advice would you give a new administrator, brand new administrator coming into a school as a assistant principal or as a principal?
Mm-hmm. To new administrators, I believe that the most important thing, I would tell them that the most important thing they need to do is get to know all of the staff members and sit down and have one-on-one individual meetings with them, as well as the CAC, the Campus Advisory Council parents, and the PTA parents. And I would simply lead my conversation with them around 2 questions. What does the data of our school tell you? And the second question would be, what are some things that are going well at the school that person is starting at, and what are some things that need to be changed? And that is what I feel will bring the person the most background information about a school setting, so that they know how to proceed. Therefore, I would ask them to spend the time in advance before setting foot on that campus to learn about the school, and definitely to take their input when making any kind of change within the school.
In terms of professional development for yourself as a leader, as a principal of Blackshear Elementary, are there any books, leadership books you've recently read or conferences you've attended?
One of the things I do like to do is stay informed. I do take the time to read any of the educational newsletters that are coming out just to see what the trends in education are. But a book that has been leading part of our work this year has been Culturally Responsive Instruction. And again, as a campus, we selected the books that we were going to read because we noticed that with the diversity changing on our campus, we needed to learn how to bring all of our different demographic groups together within the school, from the students to the parents. Therefore, we selected 3 books around cultural diversity to read as a group, and that has been leading our work. So to answer the question, I really like to look for books that are going to help support the initiatives on campus. I had the opportunity to attend a conference in Washington, D.C. this year for the Creative Learning Initiative from the Kennedy Arts Center. And that in itself was wonderful also because I was able to get some of the strategies that other individuals have had success with around the world and bring them to Blackshear Elementary. Therefore, anytime I'm going to read a book, I align it to what our school goals are, or if I'm going to attend a professional development session or conference, I like to relate it to our initiatives, and then just staying informed with the trends around the world.
How can community members get involved at your campus, and what are your needs?
With community members, we want them to get involved in a variety of manners. Let me see here. First of all, with our fine arts programming, we're always looking for special teaching artists. Our fine arts program is led by community members. Again, the example of Ballet Austin, we have someone from Ballet Austin coming in to teach our students. We have community photographers coming in to work with our students. We have a community ukulele group, groundwork music project that comes in to teach our students those lessons. Therefore, our need for teaching artists is always going to be there. That is one way that the community can get involved. If they have a special talent, I want to know what that talent is so that they could work with our students. We also love our garden to grow, and in that, we have community members working with our students. We're always looking for gardening volunteers. The teacher will take the students to the garden, but it's also wonderful to have a community volunteer that can guide the students through a lesson in the garden. That way our garden stays alive and it continues to grow. Our students have been able to sell vegetables from the garden, and our cafeteria manager uses them in some of the cooking, and we have a cooking class now through the garden. So it's all wonderful to get community members involved. We also have wonderful reading buddies. And Terrytown United Methodist Church has organized several reading buddies to come in. Our goal has been to make sure every second grader has a reading buddy, and we have met that goal. And now we're trying to make sure that every first grader has a reading buddy, and that's one of our great needs. And what that means is that an adult will come into the school during one child's lunchtime, and they will sit down with them, eat with them, and read with them, and talk about reading, and help them progress through their reading goals. Therefore, that would be a great need. We also ask parents and grandparents to become homeroom parents. As a homeroom parent, that person can help the teachers organize field trips, they can help students change into their ballet clothes, they can help them memorize their theater lines, and that is another way that we have parents involved with us. And then there's always all kinds of activities. For example, this year, we received a donation of t-shirts for every student on our campus. And our art teacher wanted to have an art design competition, therefore the students designed it. And a lot of schools have done that, right? They will have students design, the students will vote on the design, and then that gets printed onto a shirt. But this year, a group of students wanted to learn about screen printing, and screen printing, everything is manual. You have to build a table for the screen printing. You have to put the powder ink on the screen. You have to manually press the shirts, and then you have to iron them, and it's a big process. And so our parents can always get involved in things like that. This year, all of our parents handmade the shirts pretty much, and every student has one, which is really wonderful.
So what was the winning design?
The winning design was pretty clever. One of our fifth graders won the design, and we are the Blackshear Yellow Jackets. And he created yellow jackets representing everything that happens on our campus. One yellow jacket was holding a book. Another yellow jacket was dressed in his Shakespeare clothes. Another yellow jacket was holding a cello to represent orchestra. One was holding an art palette. So he was pretty creative in how he was able to demonstrate everything that Blackshear Elementary does. And I also like that he put more than one yellow jacket on there, really representing how we all work as a team. And it was a special shirt, and the students voted on it. They were the ones that selected the winner. So it's a good representation for our school.
What has been the most impactful words of advice given to you?
Oh, given to me?
It could be personally, it could be professionally.
I think that the most impactful, because something that I know I have to think about on a pretty regular basis, is to continue to do what you are doing, so long as you know that it is good for the students, and pretty much that you just can't care about any of the negative talk that may be happening around you. So long as you know you are on a good, positive path, continue your work.
Many families are moving to the East Austin area. Why should families choose Blackshear Elementary?
Families should select our school because it really is a beautiful, it's kind of big. I was going to say it's a beautiful small school. It's a big school, but what makes it feel so small is that we all know each other. If they want to be in a school where every staff member knows their child and the strengths and the needs of their child, then Blackshear Elementary is the place to be, because we are going to be able to help that individual blossom, and we are going to be able to support their needs. It's also a diverse school. There is so much to read right now about the importance of your children being in a diverse setting, and Blackshear Elementary is growing in that diversity. And just the idea that your child is going to be participating in fine arts during the day is excellent, because it is quite a deal for them, because the classes that we are offering can be very expensive outside of a school setting. And you don't have to drive them all over town. They're getting their classes right there at school during the school day.
No, that's wonderful. That's a great opportunity for many parents across the school district now that we offer many new opportunities to visit and enroll in different campuses. Is there anything else you'd like to add about your award, your school? Anything else you'd like to share with the viewers?
I would like to add that with our National Blue Ribbon Award, we were able to visit Washington, D.C. And as part of that team, I was allowed to take only some of the limits that are set by the education agency is that you can only have 3 individuals at the ceremony, which would be the principal, the superintendent or the principal's supervisor, and a teacher. And when I announced that to our school, I know that everybody wanted to go. Therefore, we had a group of a total of 14 people that paid their way.
Oh my goodness.
And they said, even if you can only have 3 people at the ceremony, we're all gonna go. We're all gonna sleep on the floor in the same hotel room if we have to. And what's beautiful is that even our head custodian had the opportunity to go because we're all one great big family. And as again, when it was time for the ceremony, you'll see that we had several people on stage when only 3 people were allowed to go on stage to receive the award. But last minute, we all got up on the stage, which was wonderful. And we got to visit with a senator while we were in Washington, D.C. And our head custodian is so proud of our school that even in that conference with the senator and his individuals, our custodian said, you know, Blackshear is wonderful because of many reasons, and we also received the cleanest school award in AISD. So that was beautiful. It was great to be able to, just pride all around.
Definitely. You know, most recently I watched an interview and just showcasing one of our partners, Entrepreneurs Foundation, doing a beautifying project at Blackshear Elementary. So I'm going to have to stop by soon to check out all of the gardening and everything that happened and freshly new painted walls and everything. It just looked amazing. So congratulations on all of your successes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And our work is continuing. We are a work in progress, and we will continue to improve.
Thank you, Mrs. Jenkins, for joining us today.
Thank you.
If you have questions about today's programming or suggestions for future programming, please email me at linda.medina@austinisd.org or call 414-9706. I'm Linda Medina Lopez and your host for Up Close TV.